May I have your attention, please? Please. Shh. Megan, who has not signed in on the clipboard? Please raise your hand. Or yeah, clipboard or up here. Who has not signed in? Please raise your hand. And not the person who's acting like a dick right now, okay? Who has not signed in? Okay, I think we're good so far. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I will hand it over to our president of eSports, Brad Hunt.
All right, guys. Thank you. So how's everybody doing today? Good? This is a good day for esports because the last time we did this last year, we had 20 people, and we have 94 people in this room right now. So we're going by leaps and bounds. But no, this is pretty awesome. So first and foremost, I want to welcome you guys to our informational meeting. Everything that you need to know for this upcoming semester is basically going to be covered today. Again, my name's Brad Hunt. I'm the president and founder of this esports community. Pour my heart and soul to this community every single day. So I hope that you guys can appreciate what we're going to be putting out for you in the next couple months. So without further ado, let's just get started a little bit with some general information. Where's Steve? There you are, Steve. Steve is our VP. He's going to be going over some of the general information with you, and then we're going to move on to some other things. So without further ado, here you go.
Hey guys, what's going on? Name's Steve. How's it going? How's everyone feeling tonight? Good. All right, so we are the esports community. I'm sure you've heard of us. Yeah. All right, so for those of you who do not know, fully who we are and what we're all about, we're about pretty much any game, all kinds of gaming, competitive, non-competitive, but in particular, we're looking to fill teams to compete with other colleges, like University of Houston, Texas State, So it's the real deal, guys. So what does it take to become a member? So the way we're doing dues this time around, it's going to be semesterly, and the reason why we're doing this is to just provide more, because we're going to have way more events this semester than we have in the past, than we've had in the past. So dues are $20, and they're going to be due semesterly. They are due by October 10th, so we ask that you get them in as soon as possible. We are accepting dues tonight, so if you have $20, get that out of the way. So the things you get with this $20, things that's provided is the shirt first and foremost. Free entry into all of our, upcoming events like LAN tournaments, league tournaments, Starcraft tournaments, fighter tournaments, you name it, tournaments, pretty much. And of course, to be a part of the community, meet other people, make these connections, have a lot of fun. Be active on the Facebook page, although that's always free. Woo! So, like I said, what you can expect from us: LAN parties, which includes, like I've said, league tournaments. PC tournaments, Dota tournaments, we've had Super Street Fighter 4, Tekken, we've had Mortal Kombat, pretty much all the big fighters. We're looking to fill some sports games as well this semester, maybe some FPS shooters. So we've heard a lot of demand for maybe like Counter-Strike. So I'm sure everyone's aware that the World's Viewing Party is coming up in October for League of Legends. So we're going to have a viewing party for that. Intramural sports with other organizations, and within our organization, we look to compete with organizations such as the Anime Corroborate Group, Nerd Fighters Group. There's a new and upcoming group in San Antonio, eSports, not eSports, in UTSA. We're looking to fill CSL teams, particularly for League, Starcraft, and Dota 2. And these CSL teams will go through a strenuous form of tryouts, which we will talk in extensive format. And we've been thinking about tailgating, maybe like a UTSA game or something just over the weekend. So that's that's new to us, and we're willing to embrace that. And here's a schedule of things we're planning on taking care of. Yeah.
I just want to talk really quickly to a couple things here. October 4th, the viewing party for Worlds. We don't have a location for that yet because we have like 300 people that are going to be interested. And it starts at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's really difficult for us to get a room because most of the time they require us to be out by midnight. So we're still looking into where we're going to have it, but rest assured we're going to have something. But again, since it starts so late, we have to be really careful where we do decide to have that because we have security to worry about and parking and a bunch of other stuff. The CSL tryouts, which we'll go over in a second, that's October 6th. Remember that date. Absolute Qualifier 4 is a qualifier we're doing. We'll go over that in a little bit for fighters. Best Fest, we're going to be on October 25th, so if you want to support your group, come out and say hey to us. And then November 30th, I would say it's a 90% confirmed that we're going to be doing that tailgate. It's versus Louisiana Tech. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a TV set up with like Madden, and we're just going to do basically whatever the hell we want for a couple hours. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. A couple things really quick. We are looking to expand our executive board. There's obviously a high demand for people, so we need to fill a couple roles. I know there's a lot of interest for Dota 2, more so than there has been in the past. Typically, we assign a division head per game once we get that much popularity in a game, so we're actually looking for a head in that Dota department. So if you're interested in doing something like that, you can talk to me or Steve afterwards, and we can give you a little bit more information about how to continue with that process. Also, we're looking for an FPS division head. If you guys play FPS, we're looking for people that either play Counter-Strike or Call of Duty. These are the two most popular shooters out there right now. I understand that PlanetSide exists. I understand that other games exist, but these are the two most popular games and the easiest games for us to put teams in tournaments. So if you're interested in something like that, come talk to us. Athletic director, that should be self-explanatory. It's mostly intramural stuff. And then webmaster, we actually do have a website. I don't know if everybody knows this or not. It's saesports.com. Has not been updated since our last LAN event because we lost our webmaster over the summer. So if you're able to code in Linux and would like to take a project like that on, it's basically what it's going to be. It is what you're going to make it. I don't really have a requirement other than making sure there's content on there. So if you're interested, come talk to us afterwards. And then I don't know if you guys know this or not, but everybody on our executive board, except for 2 people, are graduating in May. So we're trying to be able to set a whole new team of people up to succeed. So we're basically bringing on shadows within the next couple of months, which are going to basically function as a normal executive board member should, except you're going to be basically taking over the reins next semester. We're looking for ideally a sophomore or a junior is our current classification. I'm not saying that I don't trust freshmen, but I don't trust freshmen. And obviously, you know, if you're a senior, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good to train and then graduate in May. So that's pretty much it. At this point, I'm going to give it over to Mr. Ward here. He's going to cover a couple things about what we got planned for our fighting game community, and we'll go from there.
Everyone, Johnny Ward.
All right. As some of y'all may know, this is my first time being on the board. I was not here present in the spring. I love fighters. I love fighting games. There's nothing more that can be said about that. I want to do my damnedest to make sure that we have the best damn fighting community we have here in San Antonio. I don't like losing, so if you want to lose constantly, come talk to me so I can keep whipping your ass over and over again. We'll worry about that later. Anywho, the qualifier for Absolute Battles 4 will be in Dallas, Texas. Please keep these dates in mind when I go through them. First off, the qualifier is nothing more than a double elimination tournament. It will be held on October, 12th, thank you, at 1:30, and will include Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There's a $10 registration, free for paid members, so if you chuck in that 20 today, I think you're set. Winners will receive a sponsorship to Absolute Battles in Dallas, Texas. From what I recall, Absolute Battles, if you know the fighting game community and you know the fighting game players, I've heard Filipino Champ, Golden Boy Neo, Yipes, who else is there? Ricky Ortiz, Ram Nasama, just a couple of names to be named that will be there in attendance at Absolute Battles. Let me see. It'll go like this. 1 to 8 players will only get sponsored one. Will only sponsor one, excuse me. Let me see. 8 to 16 players, sponsor 2 players. And then we keep doubling there until we cap it off at 64. We can only sponsor a maximum of 4 players? Yes, 4 players per game, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I will be helping you on that journey. More than likely I'll be driving and I'll be participating too. Here's what you have to understand. We cannot pay for your registration to Absolute Battles, but we can provide hotel accommodation and travel. Registration will have to be all strictly on you. I think it's $40 or $50 venue fee and a $10 game fee per game. But keep in mind, the whole trip is like $600 if you were to go. So $60 just to play a video game and win money. Not even only win money, but win recognition and possibly a trophy, saying that you're the best in Texas for the rest of the year. I think it's worth it. Don't y'all think? I totally, yes, no.
And if y'all want to support your fellow members that are good at fighting games, but you're not, just enter anyway. Have some fun. You might lose or something. That way more money goes toward our players.
You don't have to worry about me entering. Okay, so if some of y'all have played me before, you don't have to worry about me entering. I know he's worried, but like I said, check Facebook, or like it says on here, check Facebook and everything for updates. Rambats, I'm trying to start this. I want to get everybody better. These are going to be a bi-weekly tournament specials. It's just a $2 entry fee. Basically, any game you can think of. We can need at least 8 players. Street Fighter, Injustice, Marvel, Tekken 2 tournament, DOA, Skullgirls. Huh? Dive Kick?
Yeah.
You know what? I will support Dive Kick. I like Dive Kick. I will support Dive Kick. Also, this is outside of school as well. I am part of this community called the Real 210 Fighters. We usually have gatherings at this very moment, Mondays from 9 to 2 a.m. So if you have Tuesday classes like I do at 8:30 in the morning, you will be dragging ass. And Wednesdays, we have it from 7 to 2 a.m. at Slick Willie's off of Medical, if I believe correctly. The Mine Shaft is located by the airport. If y'all know what the Magic Time Machine is, some of y'all do, that's where it's held. We usually have Rambats as well over there. But I want to start our own Rambats for our students because y'all paid the money and y'all gave up, let me see, I don't want to say anything negative, so a crap load of tuition to be in this place to learn. So I figure we should have some fun with it as well because it's just not right how we, Anywho, I'm going to go off a tangent. I'll stop. Like I said, look at the 210 Fighters. Facebook, that's all I can say for now. And next, why did the screen go blank? Oh, wait, unplug it. I'm gonna do okay. Yeah, I'm a total douchebag for doing that right now. Okay. And CSL, I will hand it off to...
Where's Godwin?
Godwin, come here.
He's our little guy.
This guy will win much.
Before we start, I want to basically just let you know, let's start with a question. How many of you are here because you want to play on a CSL team? Raise your hand. Okay, I like that. That's good. Okay, cool. So this is all going to be very relevant to you, and basically, besides this meeting and the VOD that I'm going to upload on YouTube, I'm not going to repeat myself every time somebody asks a question on the Facebook page. What do I have to do to be on the CSL team? Well, you should have came to the meetings. Okay, so let's just get the general information out of the way before I hand it off to Godwin. We are going to be doing 3 games this year, League of Legends, Starcraft 2, and Dota 2. You have to be a full-time UTSA student. That is non-negotiable. You have to be full-time. If you are not full-time, you will not play in the CSL. It's not my stipulation, it's their stipulation. And if they turn around and check and find that one of our guys is not full-time, they disqualify every single one of our teams, regardless of what game it is. So we can't really have that big of a liability just because one of you didn't want to take 4 classes. We are going to have weekly practices, so if you can't potentially feasibly block out a day of the week to practice with your respective team, it's probably not for you. We're not going to hold it against you, but realize that we're going to be taking this a lot more seriously than we have in the past. We want to win, and you have to practice to win. Also, play the game. I know that for League of Legends, for instance, I just found out recently that if you've been in Diamond once, you're in Diamond permanently. It's not the same way in StarCraft, where if you're like in Diamond and you don't play for 3 months, you could drop down to Gold. So we want people that are honestly playing the game. I don't care if you were Diamond 4 months ago. I want you to play the game today, and I want you to play constant. What's up?
It's the same system in League of Legends. If you're inactive for a month,
Oh, is it?
for
They
like
drop
30
you.
days or so, it's
Cool.
dropping you down.
It's so confusing, but at least I know now.
The higher you leave, the quicker the decay rate goes.
Okay, you just have to go in and lose a rank game like most people do.
You won't lose a tier. Like if you're in Diamond, you can lose like 60 straight games. You won't lose Diamond.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But you can decay.
That's the
Okay,
difference.
Only Challenger can you actually lose out.
that's just downright silly. But anyway, also continuing, I want you guys to be open. I want you guys to be open to criticism. Okay, if somebody is going to give you suggestion about how to improve, I don't want you to turn around and bite their heads off because, what do you know, flat scrub? We're not going to do that here, okay? My number one rule in this community when I started it is no BM, and I'm so serious about that. If you're a constant problem within the community or on a CSL team, I will kick you off and have no problem of it because chances are there's somebody willing to take your spot. And then, honestly, just a desire to improve. I don't think there's anybody here that couldn't improve unless you're Challenger in League of Legends. Are there any Challengers, Challenge level players here in League of Legends? Any Grandmaster Starcraft players? Any really high ranked Dota 2 players? No? Okay, what's y'all's ranking in Dota?
We're very high.
Very high. Besides these guys, everybody else can improve. Okay. So the format of CSL. Are we good? Do we have any questions about that? Is everybody good? Good? Okay. The schedule is different than it has been in the past. It's a year-long season. It is not broken up into semesters. So if you were on the team, be prepared for a year-long commitment, not for just a semester. There's one match per week. These matches are played on Saturdays, and they start at 2 p.m. So if you have work constantly and you can't get off, unfortunately, this is not feasible for you. There usually might be a time where we adjust the hour that the actual match is at by maybe plus or minus 1 hour, but that's about it. It's always going to be at standard 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 2 p.m. our time. And again, the practice schedules, attendance is mandatory. You can't just come when you want to. You need to just come all the time, especially in a team game like League of Legends or Dota. If my AD carry in League of Legends doesn't show up every single week, we're screwed. And that's just the fact of the matter. Because, I mean, I just want to say this really quick. If you guys are expecting to go into the league and not practice and raffle stomp everybody that you come off against, you're sadly mistaken because there are a lot of League of Legends teams in our region that are all straight up Diamond 1, like very, very good teams. Same goes for Starcraft. A lot of the Starcraft teams in the area, they don't have a player less than High Masters. They're very good. And we want to make sure we get there too. So, and then a couple tips for tryout. Don't be bad-mannered. I already spoke to that, but seriously, don't. Keep an open mind. Obviously, it's a learning experience. Your win-loss and your KD ratio when you're trying out is not as important as you think. It really is not going to be taken into consideration a lot. We want people that are mechanically talented, that understand the game, have a game sense. We can teach you strategy. We can teach you team comps. But again, I don't want you to get hung up because your Sona freaking went like 0-8 bottom and you're just like, oh, well, if my support didn't feed, I would have won the game and I would have been on the CSL team, because that's not the case. We want to see how you do in good situations. We want to see how you do in bad situations, because both of those things matter. Communicate with your team and be punctual. Obviously, just self-explanatory there. So without further ado, this is Godwin. He's our head of our League of Legends department this year. I'm going to hand it off to him, and he's going to go over a couple things that have everything to do with our League of Legends tryout format.
Godwin!
I don't want to use the mic. Is it okay if I speak? Can you guys hear me? Can anyone not hear me? Raise your hand. You can't. Microphone. God. Yeah, disorienting, I know.
Fine. I was worried I'd be too short for the mic, honestly. Okay, alright, so here we are. How many of us in here, we've already asked a question about CSL, but how many are in here for a League of Legends CSL? Raise your hands, keep them up.
Hell yeah!
Cool. Alright, so put your hands down, Alright, how many of you are 80 carry? 80 carries? Cool. Alright, and top? Okay, mid? Alright, jungle? Alright, that's it, right? Support?
Do what I can.
Alright, cool. Yeah, no, okay, that's good. That's a very nice spread. I'm really eager to hear that. Okay, so the trial format. So the way trials are going to work this year is it's a little bit extensive, but it's good for us, I think. We're going to send in 3 replays, every one of you who play League of Legends. Okay, so 3 replays, 2 wins, 1 losses. And you're going to send it to that email right there. And it's UTSA eSports @gmail.com for the stream people who can't see this. Now, the replay name must follow the format. I don't know. Do they have some place to write this down? But we're going to post this, right?
We're going to post it on YouTube.
Alright, we're going to post this. So follow this format. We need you to send in 3 replays. We want to see 2 wins, 1 loss. Okay? And the replays will be reviewed, and 8 positions per role will advance to the second round. We're going to choose 8 per position. So for a total of 40 people. And those people will be able to play in the LAN Tournament that we'll have coming up. Right. So these candidates for the next 2 weeks, after we split you off into your 8 teams, sorry. After we split you off into your 8 teams, we'll give you the names of who you're teamed up with. It's going to be a random selection of people. So I'm sorry if you're paired off with like 2 bronze people and you're like, oh man, these guys are just terrible. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's not like the end for you. How well you perform by yourself and deal with the situation, how well you communicate with your team is going to play a much bigger role than you guys winning or losing in the upcoming games. Right. Okay. So we have our 8 teams set up, and for all you people that advance to the second round, once we have these 8 teams set up, we're going to have a. Is it going to be here? That's not it? No? Nope. Okay, then I'm just going to say it myself. You're going to have 8 teams set up, and after these 8 teams are set up, we're going to have a LAN tournament at the end of 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to work with these people that you just met, right? So you have 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, thank you. During those 2 weeks, get to know them. Now, think about the tips that we just talked about. Communicate with your team. Talk about when you want to practice, when you want to get good, because you don't want to go in there and play the LAN games that we're going to set up and just look god-awful. Okay, so at the end of the 2 weeks, on October 6th, from 2 to 10 p.m., this is a Sunday, we're going to host a LAN tournament where everyone's going to be there in person. You're going to look at each other's faces and you're going to say, hi, my name is PJ, and, or your own name, and you're going to play. We're all going to play. The tournament format setup has already been made, sorry, and it's going to be round robin. Okay, so there's no tournament winner, but by a point system, we'll be able to see like which team did the best. So the first 4 games, round robin, we're gonna split your 2 groups up. You're gonna play each other. Team 1 versus team 2, kind of like this. Can you see my hands? Sorry, streamers, you can't see my hands.
It's because you're short.
You see this? Okay. So these teams are gonna play against each other, clash. Okay, and then we're gonna rotate, and the bottom team clearly goes to the top. I can't do this with my fingers. It's crazy. They're gonna play, clash. And then we'll rotate, and that's the first 4 games, okay? And after those first 4 games, we're going to seed you guys. And then after we've seeded, we're going to play 2 more matches for a total of 6 matches for these 8 teams. And then we're going to rate you based off your performance in those games. Not your LOL ELO, not your games that you played during practice, those games. However, at the end of those 6 games, we're going to ask your teammates how you did. We're going to ask your teammates. We're also going to ask you what you thought of your other teammates. And based off of that, we're going to decide, okay, this guy's really BM. I don't like the way that he treats my cat or whatever, you know? Just write down whatever you feel like. Yeah. And based off of that, we'll choose our people. Because first and foremost, we want to like be very respectful to our teammates. And if you can't be respectful and you can't take criticism, you probably shouldn't play. I mean, honestly. Starcraft instead. I won't say anything about that. All right. Okay, so that is all. I'd like to open up this moment. They're like, this 2 minutes. Are there any questions? Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Kind of 2. One, what would you like the replays to be able to be ranked or just a normal game?
Repeat the question.
Okay. The question was, does the replay have to be ranked or normal? What type of game should it be? Okay, I want it to be a Summoner's Rift game. A normal game is fine. Okay.
Do you want, like, does it matter if we play with, like, friends we know, or?
Does it matter if we play with friends that we know? No, I'll say no. First and foremost, 2 wins, 1 loss. Yes, in the back. The guy in the way back. I'll get to you.
Do your 2 roles have to be on the same champion, and if so, can you submit for multiple roles?
Okay, could you repeat that one more time?
Do your 3 roles have to be, your 3 games have to be on the same role, and if so, can you submit for multiple roles?
Can you submit? Okay, the question was, do the roles have to be, do the 3 replays have to be in the same role? And if so, can you submit for multiple roles? No, you cannot submit for multiple roles. Jeez, English. So 1 role. I'm sorry, it gets really complicated when people try to submit for multiple roles.
3 games, 1 role.
3 games, 1 role. And those replays, again, have to be in the same role. Okay, anyone else? Oh, right, you.
Are we able to bring our own equipment? Are we provided?
Yes. When the LAN tournament comes about, we're going to have a huge ballroom set up. And we're going to have tables and everything for you to have like a rig. So you can bring your own equipment and everything, your laptops, your rig. Yeah, we actually encourage you to bring whatever you need. Okay? Oh, no way. Go ahead.
How many people did we have at our last LAN?
At our last LAN? How many people did we have at our last LAN? We had 6 to 8 teams.
We had like 9.
Just for League of Legends, and that's not counting the other games.
Yeah, that's not counting.
Yeah, and this was before we were.
That was a real tournament, though. It wasn't like tryout. That was an actual tournament.
Yeah, that was an actual tournament. It was big. It was nice.
Any other
Okay.
questions?
Yes.
Also, I know for Starcraft CSL, there's multiple people who play, and like whenever they have like a go against enemy versus there's multiple people that play. For League of Legends, is there just one team, or is there like 2 or 3 teams that play for a CSL game?
Okay. Are there multiple teams that play for a CSL game? Okay, the way it's going to set up, I should talk about this. That's a good question, thank you. So we are going to have 2 League of Legends teams. There's Tier 1, there's Tier 2. And the Tier 1 team, so there are 10 spots available, so to speak. Right now we already have 5 roles tentatively filled. These people, there are already people there. And we're looking for another 5. And basically the way this is going to work is, and we've talked about it, I'm going to say every Thursday, we're going to have these teams play against each other, our Tier 1 team and our Tier 2 team. And based off of their performance in that game, which we will stream for the community, for anyone who wants to follow us, we will decide who to send to the game that we play officially on Saturday. So there are 2 teams, string 1, string 2, right? And we'll move players around as we need to. Because if you're doing terribly, like you're last hitting like 50 minions at 10 minutes, we're going to bench you. We're just going to have to bench you. And we would like to provide people the opportunity to play, even if they're the Tier 2 team. So if you get to Tier 2, don't feel like, oh man, this sucks, I'm never going to get to play a game. No, do well. Do better than the guy in front of you, and we'll place you. No problem. Okay, so does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions?
So like basically, it's like an answer, but like, so if we like dual queue with someone or tell someone like, can we send the same video or like?
Okay, if you dual queue with someone, can you each send the same video? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, yes?
How much variety do you want to have on the replay videos? I mean, do you want like, I guess one champion per replay, or would you rather have just kind of like a similar thing? Like, how much variety do you want?
If you want to showcase yourself, I would send me a variety of champions. If I see you play 3 Caitlyn games, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to be like, why did he send me 3 Caitlyn games? You know, why did he send me 3 Fiora games? So yeah, variety would help. Yeah. Think about these games that you send in. Okay? I want you to use a discretion. Yeah, sorry. We'll answer more questions at the end of this. Okay? And I'm willing to answer questions personally if you come like to me after everything. Cool.
Thanks, Gavin.
Thank you, Goblin. And again, we're gonna be up front. All the executive board guys will be up front. So if you have more questions afterwards, just come ask us. We know exactly what we're talking about. So the second thing we're going to be doing for CSL Starcraft 2, I'm going to go over the tryout format for that a little bit. Myself, I'm going to be heading the Starcraft 2 department for the time being. So basically, it's going to be the same way. You're going to need to send in 3 replays, 1 for each matchup that you have. One of them needs to be a loss, and it needs to be replays that you feel adequately represent your skill. So if you like to do 2 base all-ins, then just 2 base all-in. If you like to do both, do both. But don't send me a macro game if macro is not your strong style. I'm not going to care what your play style is. I just want you to be honest and tell me what are you good at and what are you not good at. So that's basically that. Again, this is going to be qualifier type tournament that's going to be held at the same time the league tournament's going to be. It's October 6th. It's in a LAN setting in person. And just to elaborate on what Godwin was saying earlier, that is a LAN in person in the ballroom. You will need to bring your own rigs. You will need to bring your own keyboards, peripherals, that sort of thing. We're going to provide the tables, we're going to provide the internet, we're going to provide the chairs, but everything else you need to bring for yourself. Oh yeah. How many of you do play StarCraft 2?
Yeah.
Nice. StarCraft, I like StarCraft. Okay, so here's the tournament format as you can read on there. It's best of 3 single elimination rounds for the qualifiers, or the tryouts rather. Top 4 automatically make the lineup for week 1. And then everybody else aside from that is either going to be considered as a substitute or considered for our 2v2 team. Because the format for StarCraft 2 is a bit different than it is for League of Legends. It goes, every week we have a match. We have a 1v1, a 1v1, a 1v1, a 2v2, and then another 1v1. And if it's tied after that, another 1v1 for an ace match. So basically we are looking for 1v1 players, but we're also looking for a really strong 2s team. So if you and a friend are in this room right now, or you know a friend that plays StarCraft 2, and they're interested in playing on the 2s team, perfect. You guys can try out as a 2s team if you want. That's fine. In the past, we kind of had trouble finding interest for that because, I mean, 2v2 is not balanced. It's kind of broken. But that doesn't mean we can't take advantage of that. So also, there's a challenge system that's going to allow for spots. So if you feel like you're better than some of the people that are in the main lineup for that week, we will allow you to challenge. It's a best of 5 match, and whoever wins gets the spot. That simple. You're allowed to be challenged once per week. So yeah, does anybody have any questions about the way StarCraft 2 is going to work? It's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. Sir.
Where do we send the replays?
The replays, where do you send them? They're sent to the exact same email as earlier, utsaesports@gmail.com. Any other questions? Yes, sir, in the back.
All this info is going to be on the Facebook page?
Yes, and I'll just speak to that right now. I'm going to upload the VOD from tonight, as well as this PowerPoint, so you guys can look over it as you want on the Facebook page. It'll be in the Files section near the top of that Facebook page. If you look right underneath our banner, there's a little word that says Files, and just click on it, and you'll see everything.
Also, when are these, like, I guess, dues really? Like, when you want the file?
The replays, up on there on the third line, September 19th for League players, also September 19th for Starcraft players. That's a week from today. So you can dig through your old replays, you can go ladder and try and raffle stomp a noob or something and make yourself look good. But it needs to be done in a week from today. Anything past a week from today, I'm not going to accept. Noe, what's up?
Can you explain the challenge system again?
Okay, the challenge system for StarCraft 2 again, just so you guys know. If you feel like you are better than a person that is currently playing, it's a best-of-5 match where everyone's the best-of-5 gets a spot in the lineup for that week. And you can only be challenged once per week. So if you get challenged and you hold off that scrub that thought he could beat you in Silver League, then you can't be challenged for the rest of the week. Even if some Grandmaster player walks in and is like, hey, I'm Grandmaster, what's up? Yes, sir.
How do we decide on challenge players?
Challenge players, what do you mean?
Like, say that person wants to challenge. How do we decide if there's like multiple players who want to challenge them that week?
If there are multiple players that want to be challenged that week, that's a good question. We'll take it on a case-by-case basis.
All right.
So real quick, I don't have a slide for Dota 2 yet because oh yeah, go ahead.
I had a question.
Sure.
The League of Legends replays. If we submit Twitch VODs, is there a way that we'd be able to get them looked at before they expire? Like, because I think Twitch VODs are automatically deleted after like 3 or 4 days.
You can upload, you can rip a Twitch VOD right to YouTube.
Okay.
And if you do that, I think it's an option under your video management on Twitch. If you do that, then it'll be permanent. That's what I would suggest. But honestly, those league guys, I'm sure, has anybody not heard of LOL Replay? Okay, good. I'm honestly, if you haven't heard of LOL Replay, that's fine. I'll teach you how to install it. It's a replay program since Riot lacks the ability to install one. What's up?
Honestly, we tried it, but we never got it working.
If you tried it and didn't get it working, post on the Facebook page. I'm sure there is a nerd somewhere that can help you out. Any other questions about that, what we've covered so far? No? Okay, cool. Again, for the Dota 2 guys, if you're interested in trying out for the Dota 2 team, please come see me afterwards. We don't have a format since we don't have a division head, but it's going to be a lot the same as StarCraft or as League of Legends without the replay sort of thing going on because, again, this is a new... The game caught on really late, but it's finally catching on, and we're really happy about that because we want a Dota team because that... I swear, Dota's going to get big. Dota's going to get real big. I'll mark my words right now. It's already kind of huge in the European and Korean community. It's going to get very big in America very soon. What's up?
Do we have to use a certain LOL replay for League? Can we use a different?
You can use a different one if you want. Whatever one's more convenient for you. Let's see. Okay, so quick show of hands. Who's planning on trying out for the Dota 2 team? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah, we'll get you more information, I promise. But again, if you're interested in trying out for that Dota 2 team, please come talk to me afterwards. Because again, hold on, guys, hold on. We're almost done. I know, we're almost done. And all that awesome water back there, I know is getting your attention. In the past, when we've tried to start Dota 2 teams, they just fall apart. So, you know, I really want there to be a Dota 2 team. I want to spread the esports love to every single game that we have. So if you are serious about being a competitive Dota 2 team, please come talk to me afterwards. So that's pretty much it. I'm also just going to close with, if you haven't been following us on social media already, which I don't see how you haven't because, you know, the internet, our Facebook page is obviously there. We do have a Twitter. We're going to start using it in the future. That's how we get a lot of sponsorships because corporate companies are really stupid and they only look at the number of Twitter followers you have as a determinant for how popular you are. So even though I have almost 500 people on my Facebook page, they see 30 followers on Twitter and they're going to be like, yeah, no. So follow us there, at S8 eSports. We're going to post there with reminders for everything going on. We also do use Raid Call. Does anybody here not know what Raid Call is?
What the hell is that?
Raid Call. Here's what Raid Call is. Raid Call is basically Ventrilo and Skype mixed together and made better. So it basically is a vent interface with a chat at the same time that everybody can be in the channel. It's completely free. We don't have to pay for server space at all. So it's a really, really awesome program. It's totally free. Raidcall.com. You can download it. Our channel ID is there. You also can find that channel ID in our description on our Facebook page. Just hop in there all the time whenever you're on, and try and find players that are just looking for games. We've been trying to do that in the past. We kind of fell off with it, but we're going to get back on it because it's been successful for other esports communities at different universities. So we're going to try and press it going into the future. Lastly, we do have chat channels in every game. For League of Legends, it's just UTSA. On the top right in that chat channel, please select Auto Join on Startup. That'll automatically open up the chat window whenever you log into your client. It's really awesome. We typically have like 25 to 30 people in there at lower times and up to 50 to 60 at peak hours. Starcraft 2, we have UTSA clan and a UTSA group. If you're having trouble finding that, come talk to me. I'll get you all set up with a clan system. Dota 2, we do have a guild. It's UTSA Dota. If you already aren't a part of that, please be a part of that. Again, we're trying to spread our wings into the Dota community. Steam, I'm not, is this the correct Steam group ID, UTSA?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. Join that if you haven't already for Steam. Because around Christmas, I want to do some type of game exchange through Steam for the most part. So yeah, the more people that we have on Steam, the better. And then we have a Minecraft server. I really don't know how valid this is, a Minecraft server. What's up, man?
I let it die because there weren't enough people, but if we get more interest, I can start it back up.
We're going to start it back up.
We're all Minecraft players.
Yeah, who plays Minecraft? Oh yeah, dude, we got. Come on, look at all these Starcraft players or Minecraft players.
All the cracks.
All the cracks. We're gonna get a Minecraft server back on. Because for those of you who didn't know, in the past when we wanted a Minecraft server, we just kickstarted it ourselves. We just posted something on the community page and said, hey, let's fund a Minecraft server, and we did, and it was awesome until it got wiped. What's up?
Because Kickstarter doesn't think that gaming is creative.
Okay, Indiegogo then. Wow, that's really weird. For the stream, they said that Kickstarter doesn't believe that games are legitimately creative, I believe, is in the nutshell. So if we're going to be doing another starter in the future, we're going to be doing that on Indiegogo. But that's pretty much it for that. And that's pretty much all I have. So does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments about anything at all? Sir?
Probably other people are going to be lucky too, because I want to try to out the Dota and the Is there any like maybe conflictions with both of them, or maybe if somebody tries to try for one but they don't succeed, then go for another?
The question was for the stream, what about us that want to try out for the CSL teams for 2 different games? I would say pick one that you're better at and stick to that. Because since the tryout days are going to be on the same time and the same day, it's going to be really difficult, especially for 2 team games, for me to say, oh, your whole Dota team's waiting on you when your league game just took 45 minutes. So I would say pick one and stick to it. Next question. Sir?
As far as the webmaster role, what do you mean by Linux? I'm assuming you're hosting your server on Linux.
It is hosted on Linux, yes. That's about as much as I know. I am totally not, I'm retarded when it comes to coding, man. This is my one weakness, and I'll admit it. I have no idea how UCS nerds do it because it's awesome what you guys do. Yeah, perfect. Then you probably want to come talk to me because I really want to get that website up and running. Next question. Yes, ma'am. Intramural sports, yes. I didn't really talk about that, but we're going to do kickball. We're going to do soccer, indoor soccer. If I have enough dudes that want to do flag football that are like actually athletically talented, yeah! My ear.
We pretty much need an athletic director for that. So if y'all want to be an athletic director, sign up for the sport. I know how to do it, so I'll walk you through it and everything.
Right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Sir?
So I was talking to my computer science teacher and
yes.
or game programming teacher, and he's saying that they have a game group that they're trying to start back up. You know anything about that?
Yes, they had a game design group that they had in the past, and when their senior management graduated, it just fell apart. Basically, what they try and do is code games and like sell them on Indiegogo or something. Is it? If it's a gaming group, then we're going to assimilate them with us because we were here first. Devin, yes, sir.
What's up with TESPA?
Okay, let me talk about this because this is interesting. Does anybody not know who TESPA is?
I don't.
TESPA is the Texas eSports Association. They started as a collegiate group like we did, but they got so popular that they went nationwide. They've hosted tournaments like Lone Star Clash in the past. That's been through them. And those college started. They funded everything themselves. So they've expanded to be a national product at this point. So I'm getting us in as a chapter because there's a bunch of resources that they have that can benefit us, like free stuff and really cool tournaments that they have. So as far as where we are with TESPA, it still has kind of no real jurisdiction. I haven't met with the Rosen brothers yet. I'm actually meeting with them on Saturday at 6 p.m. At that point, I'll probably be able to get you a little more information as to what's in it for us. Because in the past, you know, we have a large group. So in the past, whenever they approach us and say, hey, Brad, I heard you guys got an esports group. You want to give us all your members for free and you can call yourselves TESPA? I'm like, yeah, no. Because we all worked really hard to get all these groups, and we do, you know, events and stuff, and why would I give you all my members for free and I get nothing in response, and you guys get to claim it for sponsorship purposes? It's a lot of politics, but basically I'll know on Saturday. TLDR. Next question. Sir. Yes, FPS-specific events. Again, I'm looking for a director head. On our big LAN tournaments that we do, we're going to be doing once a semester. Kind of like, who was here at the last huge LAN event we did last semester? Raise your hand. Dude, you guys missed out for those that you didn't. We had like 150 people in both ballrooms, and it was really, really baller. But we're going to be doing that in the future, where we have both the ballrooms. We have PC on one side, fighters on another side, consoles on another side. As far as specific, genre-specific events for shooters, like CSGO and Call of Duty, which is Call of Duty. Again, if I find a division head that's willing to be like, hey, man, I'll take the reins, and I'll try and work with you guys, put some events together. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because really, if you guys have a game that's not already massively included in the community, and there's like a couple dudes that are really interested in that game too, and you want to have your own department for it, come talk to me, because I'm willing to include it. Like when I started this group, it was 11 Starcraft players, and that was it. And now we have Starcraft, League of Legends, Fighters, Dota 2, we have everything. Just because we found the interest, and when somebody expresses interest, I might give it a shot. So, yeah. Any other questions? Sir, in the back.
So you mentioned fighters, so that also includes Super Smash Brothers?
Okay, I can answer this one. I can answer this one. Okay. If you, I'm not going to say this. I'm going to be as polite as possible because I hate Brawl. I'm not going to lie. I hate Brawl. But if you can start Brawl, Melee, I love Melee. I can play Melee. But if you can start Brawl and Melee or anything, I will let you do that. I will let you branch off and run the tournament as well. I don't mind you getting the community for it as well. Just come talk to me, come talk to Brad, come talk to anybody up here. I have no problem with that.
Is Brawl part of the real 2-0 fighters?
Repeat the question.
Okay, so okay, one of our VP asked if Brawl is part of the real 2-0 fighters. No. Okay, I'm serious. I'm kidding. Yes, it is. It is part of it. It's still a douchey game. But huh? Who said? Oh, okay. I know. But yeah, pretty much that's pretty much it.
Pretty much, if we don't get anything going with real 2-0 fighters with Brawl or Melee, I'm looking definitely to fill like some kind of Brawl tournament or even Melee tournament. Because I love Brawl. You know, if you play Brawl and you play Melee, talk to me after this.
For the stream, Steve is
we'll see what we
basically
can do.
saying how much he likes Brawl.
I'd like for you to take Brawl and Melee into consideration because you said people who go into tournaments, like all of us, since we're members, we get in for free, but other people would have to pay. Think of it from a financial standpoint.
Yeah.
No,
like
a
I
lot
said.
of people would play.
Yeah, the question or statement rather was that we should consider Brawl and Melee's actual games. You know what he said earlier was like actually.
Oh, dude, I wasn't even that cool. God. Okay, but as well, I will totally consider it. I'm not, biased against anything else. I hate the game, but you know what? I'm not going to deny anybody the game.
Yeah, just to make that more PC, we definitely will include the game. And from a financial standpoint, we are definitely aware that there is a benefit to have from it.